Well, all right, guys, here we are with another episode of Cringe-Strophic Disclosure. But today we also have this, the usual and amazing Irvine newspaper. Look at this, so much cool stuff happening. If you want to go check out the marketplace, you can use the QR code right here. Oh, look what we have here. We've got an orchestra. We have Rivian. Look at that, Rivian. The front page news. But not only that, can you believe this? But Irvine links to SNL. I think that's Saturday Night Live. We do have a comedy area here in Irvine, and I think it was it Fly on the Wall or Dandelions? Was it Mr. Spade or whatever spoke about that in his comedy on YouTube. Anyway, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the thing that I do. Now, I'm not going to be using this cream, but I have this cream. Why? Because it works. Please read the instructions in the back here. Very important on how to use this cream. First of all, they say don't use this cream on your face, which I have done. So whatever indication says here, right, your leg skin, because this is supposed to be smooth skin, lasts days longer, better than shaving basically, and it's a softening baby oil. But the idea is that it's supposed to be for your legs. So if you decide to do crazy things like I've done, as I've been experimenting with my new therapy, which is micro lesion therapy, because apparently the cure to having the perfect skin is understanding how your body works. So if you want the absolute best results for your skin, you need to understand how it works. The body is a machine, not a great machine, but it is a machine. And if you want that machine to work the best that it can, if you put the same amount of water and, let's say, food in your body every single day, and you don't put a little bit more, then that will give you the best skin that you possibly could have, especially if you get the right nutrients in. And why I say that is because the skin has a tendency to expand and contract. So if you're constantly changing the amount of food that's going in your body and it's never constant, then your skin will expand more on one day, then it may contract more on another. And this contraction, expansion, contraction, and expansion leads to saggy skin. On top of that, you also have to think about what keeps your skin up is the muscles. So as you age, if you're not using all the muscles in your face, you're not exercising, you're not putting your head below, basically you're not doing push-ups, you're not doing handstands or headstands, whatever, using the inversion rack, you're never getting all the nutrients and blood flow that you need to your brain, to your head. And also you're not using the counter opposing basically muscles that keep your face going. So imagine if you're always in one direction, the muscles that are pulling in one direction are always going to be the ones that are running. The counter or the opposing muscles that also work on your face will never engage, which is why depending on how you use your face, certain lines will be more obvious than others. So there you go. I solved skin theory. Anyway, so issues, again, as I said, this is the reason why I'm not telling you to do this thing. I'm just going to show you what happens to my face. And if after many, because this could take a year, this could take 2 years, I don't know. If I do not achieve baby face, it just means that I have wrecked my body from the age of 0 all the way to 40 to the point where it could never be reversed. If it actually works, then great. So whether you're a hater or a somebody who enjoys this channel, you get to watch, and the haters will be able to point and laugh and say, oh, look, he's so dumb, he made it worse, or whatever. which is why I'm not telling anybody that they should try to do this, because it is crazy. And again, I'm not saying you should buy this cream. My wife absolutely hates the smell of this cream. So there's so many different creams that you can use that are even better than this one. So you do you if you want to try this out eventually. Don't try it until I've finished my process, right? Because I'm only like a couple of months into this micro lesion therapy that I'm trying, which is basically where I create micro lesions in my skin and then make sure that, you know, I've got my diet up to, crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's on my diet and my exercise routine. So now I have one that works for me. It's the best that I know I can do that's been reliable over the years. So again, I'm not going to say don't eat meat. You could do the same exact diet, replacing the vegetable protein that I use with animal protein. In fact, there's plenty of protein shakes and protein bars and protein other things that use animal protein that's been extracted from animals, that is probably just as reliable. And in fact, many of those have more protein in it than what you can get from vegetables. But again, that's why I don't tell you, go buy this protein powder, go buy that protein shake or that protein bar or whatever. And the same thing that I just said about this cream. Don't go buy this particular one. There's so many that can create micro lesions. But if you do use this one, please do be careful. It says, do not put this cream on your face for more than 3 minutes. And when it says that, it actually says about your legs. So imagine the skin on your leg is about twice as thick as that of your face. So that means, just to be on the safe side, do not put this cream on your face for more than a minute. That would be my safe zone. I have done this a lot on my face. And what happens when you put it on your face for over 3 minutes? You will see red dots because it will basically eat into your skin and you will bleed. You will bleed. I've done it. I know what it does. And my face skin is pretty thick. So if you have very delicate skin, you may even want to do this only for 30 seconds. So again, when you do these experiments, as let's say you want to do real science, right? You have to be extremely careful because you don't know how you will react to a certain thing. So I always go like super conservative, and then as things progress, as the skin gets stronger or whatever, you can go a little bit longer. But I have shown you pictures of what my face looked like just a week ago, and I had very dark scabs. As a matter of fact, this used to be like this that you see here used to be about this long, and it was all a scab, but it healed. So also, although I've been able to remove some moles using this process, oftentimes what happens is the mole will return, not with a vengeance, it just will return and be the same mole in the same spot, same shape, same size. So just because you removed a mole doesn't mean that the mole will not return. So that is where science is important. Figure out, maybe some real scientists will be able to go out there and figure out what to do to make the removal permanent. Because there must be a reason why moles appear the way that they do in certain places. Anyway, all right, I'm going to start with my left hand for fun. And then we're going to go to the right hand because we've had recent videos of Jake Barber. Again, I'm just going to use water today because we're in the car and I don't want to make a mess in the car. Just to show you the kind of stuff that I do. Now, if I want to get rid of that one particular mole, what I'll do is I will aim at the mole. I'll put the brush directly on the mole. And I'll try to stay on there. Again, you can use whatever cream, whatever. The point is you're creating micro lesions in your skin. And you're hoping that then, whether it is a little scar I don't know if this would actually work on larger scars. I've had bad experiences trying to remove larger scars. It didn't really work, but we're still experimenting on that on my body rather than on my face, because again, always go extra conservative on your face, because if it's on your body, you know, people won't see it all the time, but if it's on your face, people will see it all the time. So you have to be extra careful there. So I try to put it around. Be careful whatever cream you use. If the cream is very strong, it could damage your hair follicles, you know, like the roots of the hair. And so if you do that, then you won't have any hair, and you will create your own receding hair line way. So I try not to go anywhere near hair. Now this right here was when I had chickenpox, or shingles, whatever, one of those nubbins came up, and then I scratched it with my nail. It popped a hole in my skin right there. And I'm trying to use this micro lesion system to try to repair it, so that, because it goes into my, it almost like an extrusion, but intrusion towards the skull. And it basically had this little hole there, and it's starting to heal, but you know, we'll see how that goes. I tried it one time and it didn't work, so I'm trying again with a slightly different thing. The first time when I did it, I just spread the cream all around it. It didn't do so well. The other time what I did was I only inserted the cream in the hole, and then that seems to be working better. So do not touch the edges of where the hole was, and just put the cream in the middle. And then basically it bled, and it started creating a what do you call that thing anyway, when it starts producing the crust, whatever. And the crust actually filled in the gap. So we'll see. The crust is still there, so once the crust is removed, then we'll find out whether that fully healed or not, or if the hole gets bigger or smaller, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. That's why it's an experiment. Alrighty. So yeah, I try to go around my face. I try to go in the grooves where, see if we can get some of that wrinklage to stop or get better. And then we could do areas like right in here. See if we could stop that unibrow from keep coming back, because the unibrow is real. Anyway, another thing that you could do is what I've done is I've put these things in my nose. It's just paper, because sometimes the cream can be so stinky. Now, right now I'm just doing water, but I'm just showing you what I would do. So I'm trying to make this experiment as realistic as possible, so you guys can see what I do. I stay absolutely away from the hairline. I'm only trying to go on the skin. And this right here was a mole that I was able to remove, but it came back. So whatever that means. And also, this process is for those people like me with ingrown hairs. Less hair is always better, because my hair comes out of the skin and then goes back into the skin. And that is something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's just absolutely horrifying and horrible. But anyway, it's just part of life, and you deal with it like everything else. Oh boy. Anyway, there we go. All right. And this is one of the good things about being ambidextrous, is you can go on both sides and get it all. So hopefully there's another one of those little moles. You try to put the cream on it. And then, so the added bonus is if this works well, it maybe kills a lot of the extra hairs and it makes the shaving process easier as you go along. Anyway, I'm going to do the same video or similar video, maybe condense it, and I'll do it on the chest, perhaps my arms as well. If you guys have seen some of my other videos, you see that there's big scabs from trying this process, and we'll see. So creating these micro lesions, and hopefully this may remove like small cancers, moles, little scars, not big scars. And if this experiment fails, then it fails, and nobody lost anything. And if it works, then great. I achieve baby face again, and I'll be happy. Most importantly, I'll be happy if I can get reduce as much of this hair that grows on my face, because it'll just make shaving so much easier. Anyway, that's basically the procedure. And as much as I'm gonna do today, we'll keep this up, and I'll keep making more of these videos, and we'll see in a month, in a year, how it goes, whether it does anything or it just backfires, and I'll have even larger, deeper wrinkles. But so far, these used to be really like this, and even if I smiled or did like this, when I let go, it would continue to be like that. And so far, it looks like they're getting a little smaller. So maybe it's just because I try to drink and eat the same amount of food every day. Now, depending on how big you are, maybe you need 2 jars of this a day, or if you're very smaller than me, maybe you only need 1 jar of food like this every day. And maybe if you're a big person, you need 2 or 3 of these bottles, and if you're smaller than me, you only need 1. I usually will have about maybe 1.5 of these. Like I'm 5'5"-ish, just a little bit more. 5'5"-ish, yeah. So I'll have, again, I'm not saying yogurt, I'm just saying overall, I fit all of my food in about 2 of these containers, or 1.5 of these containers, I mean, per day. And then I'll have, depending on how thirsty I am, because some days it's super hot and I need a little bit more, but I have about maybe 1 or 2 of these bottles a day. Again, it depends on you. You may be somebody who does not retain water. I retain water like you wouldn't believe, which is why I always have sweaty palms and sweaty feet, no matter what I do. Which makes handshaking a little bit awkward. I try to shake people's hand and do fist bumps because they always feel like they just grabbed onto a slug when, shake my hand. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see how this goes out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you can point and laugh as much as you like. But hopefully it works and it helps somebody out there. And if not, as they say in French, tant pis. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.